we see beneficial mutations that produce novel effects based upon pre-existing complex genetic information. So people have been duped and brainwashed in schools to think that evolution is really based upon hard science. It's not. It's not only garbage science, it's based upon a misrepresentation of the facts. And in fact, it is a metaphysical outlook, but it's not science. Look, when have we ever observed random mutations to produce an increase of hierarchical, complex new genetic information? The answer is we haven't. You know what they will do? They'll say, well, we studied a couple of million E. coli bacteria, and they evolved to eat something that they couldn't eat before. That's a novel effect based upon pre-existing genetic information and mutations. That's not a raw increase of complex genetic information. But you see, that's what's required if you believe in the theory of evolution, right? You see, Darwin knew, yeah, go ahead. You wanted to say something? See, evolution is just simply a materialistic metaphysic attacking the existence of God. Darwin knew that his theory of evolution would murder God. And those were his words, not mine. The fossil record is what we would expect to see if there was a worldwide flood, not if there was evolution. You want to hear a quote from one of the world's most renowned evolutionists? He's dead now, but you know what he said? He said, the trade secret of paleontologists is that there are no transitional fossils. And when he started to be quoted by creationists at this, he got pissed off. He says, well, we have some good examples of transitional forms. Yeah, there's a handful of fossils that they claim are transitional, but all in all, what we see in the fossil record is animals that are on the tips and nodes of the phylogenetic tree. We don't see transitional forms all over the place. We find creatures that are completely fully formed and not in transition. And another thing is this, if evolution is so true and is driven by mutations and a step-by-step survival, why is it that we don't see a vast array of incomplete mutations that are not deleterious, but are thus non-functional? In other words, let's say we had birds growing appendages on their backside, but it didn't impair their ability to fly. Or alligators or rabbits growing all sorts of weird internal or body parts that don't take away from their survivability. We don't see that. But if evolution were true, we should expect to see this in all life forms. We don't see it in any, there at all. Now we do occasionally. You'll see it, a snake with two heads and things like that. But those types of things are ultimately deleterious and they die out.
Isn't that why you don't see any though?
No, but what I'm saying to you is this, is if random mutations is the mechanism that produces new information, surely it would produce a whole lot of non-functional body parts that are not deleterious. In other words, that take away from survivability. We don't see that.
But aren't you presupposing that that these body parts would not take away from survival?
No, because I'm presupposing that there can be some that would take away and then they would die out. You see, the point is this: is that if the let's say mutant appendage that really isn't functional, as long as it doesn't reduce fitness, then it would stay around. But we don't see that.
Yeah, but you're presupposing that it doesn't reduce fitness when it does.
Look, you see, the reason why people believe evolution is not because it's good science. It's because the scientific community, ever since Darwin, has adopted a materialistic metaphysic rather than a non-material metaphysics, and they call that science. That's not science. That's religion. Okay.